Alright, so the race has begun. We're going to run through the prologue. I'll do a quick rundown of the basic movement that Madeline has that you'll see a lot of in this speedrun. So Madeline has a jump, a dash, and can grab and climb walls. And off the bat, she does not have the ability to dash, but that's okay, because she's going to come across it here as she makes her way through this dangerous bridge. Also, you might notice that the timers are not lined up. That is because we used in-game timer for this race, and also to keep track of our PBs and everything else. Alright, so we are moving through. Going into Chapter 1 here on Starcruncher's screen, I'm going to talk about a little bit of the gimmicks and some of the tech you'll see. So we got these zippers that'll be showing up, and as well as the dash going into full effect, and a nice wall bounce there. So wall bounces, you jump against the wall, dash straight up and kick off of that bad boy, and you are going to get some nice momentum, which is being showcased by Starcrunsher right now. We also have some hypers and some, maybe some ultras. We might see a few of those. And a reverse dash jump there as well. So this chapter is very short. We're looking to shoot for around a minute 10-ish, a minute 20, depending on the runner. Starcrunsher is moving along very nicely. Zeion97 also doing well here. I'd say about at the halfway point. Alright, so we should see a spike jump from Starcrunsher here. He nails it. So with that, as long as Madeline is facing away from spikes, she will not die from them. And there's a few areas where you actually can kick off of them or jump across them to safety. That is also prominent in the dashless run for Chapter 1, which is also a thing too for Celeste. So it's Zeion heading to the home stretch on Chapter 1. Starcruncher is in the lead and moving into Chapter 2, which is Old Sight. So off the bat in this next screen, you're going to see this weird looking block with some constellation looking stuff in there. That is a dream block. Currently not active, but we'll get to that. Also, this chapter is also very short too, so there'll be a lot of action. Oh, Starcruncher taking a death there, bonking his head on that narrow pathway to get to that skip. Nice save. Just gonna pull off a skip there, where you skip the cutscene while Madeline is aligned with the dream block, and by doing that, when the cutscene finishes, she actually warps to that position. So saving a little bit of time. Zeion97 moving into Chapter 2 now, as well as we get to the battle line introduction. This battle line basically will mimic Madeline's moves on a 3-second delay. So routing is very important, especially as you progress through, as more battle lines appear. So we got one right now. In a screen or two, we're going to see 3, and then ultimately we're going to see 5 altogether. So runners have to be very careful to make sure that they don't try to cross any of their paths. But Starcruncher is making fantastic work with these rooms here, as Zeion97 moves into the Dream Block activation sequence. And Starcruncher now in the final room where the battle lines will chase Madeline. Again, excellent work here. Got hung up on there, but that's okay. And he gets through scot-free. So this part here is just a simple beeline to the information booth. Got some little dream blocks here to play around in. And now Zeion97 is moving into the battle line chase as well. Now we have the awake section. There's nothing really going on here. It's just all based on the player's movement to get through these uneven screens. You see there's a lot of ups and downs and dips and crevices. Very easy to get caught up in them, but Starcruncher moving along exquisitely. Oh my goodness. He's gonna hit a 204 for his Chapter 2. Nicely done. Zeion97 taking a death there in this room with the lock switches. The way that these work is that you have this block with the blue icon on it over on the right side, and you have to activate all of these switches just by running into them. They don't have a hitbox or anything. You just kind of pass through, and they're all set to go. Zeion97 using great work of the 3 seconds, but takes a death on the spikes there. And now Starcruncher is moving into Chapter 3, Resort. So we got these dust bunnies that you'll be seeing here. And they like to just kind of go on their little path and mind their own business. If Madeline comes in contact with them, that is a death. There's also going to be keys. As you can see, we have a locked door there, which you'll need this key to require. Now, unlike the strawberries, if the death occurs, the key will remain with Madeline, and we will utilize that to actually skip a few seconds in one of the rooms later on in the chapter. So Starcruncher making great work here as he's heading in towards the huge mess screen as Zeion97 is making it through the final section of Old Sight's battle line chase. Oh, runs into one of those bad guys and takes a death. And speaking of death, Starcruncher also taking one there too. Zeion97 making through, getting to that home stretch, finishing up Old Sight. Starcruncher's grabbing his second key here. And Starcruncher now beginning the huge mess portion of Chapter 3. So we got this labyrinth of crates, books, and blankets that Madeline has to navigate through. A lot of places to bonk your head, to accidentally wall jump off of. He makes great work of that. And now he's going to begin to start cleaning all of this stuff, and he's going to head into the crate room first. Oh, missing that switch there. Nice recovery. And Zeion97 now moving through the final part of Awake. Oh, Starcruncher taking a death from a dust bunny there. Continue to move forward. Zeion97 out of Chapter 2 at 6:28. And now getting ready to head into Chapter 3. Oh, Starcruncher getting ahead of himself and dashing past the gooey switch, or whatever you want to call it, as he moves into the second part of Huge Mess here. Gonna tackle the books. Starcruncher here being very aggressive through these rooms, which is always nice. Oh, especially right there. Not going too high, just using that diagonal dash to get past those dust bunnies. As he heads in the final section. We got Zeion97 just beginning his journey through the resort. Grabbing that strawberry as he goes along. Starcruncher taking a death there against these dust bunnies as he's navigating through the... I like to call this the laundry section. Oh, that's because there's washing machines in the background. But one more screen and he'll be out. As Zeion97 gets his first key and moves on to the second portion. Oh, going for that skip and he nails it. Nicely done. By using a hyper off of that, or excuse me, an extended hyper off that, you're able to skip all those platforms and save a nice chunk of time there. Nice play from Zeion97 as he's moving for his second key, and Starcruncher now moving forward through the elevator shaft portion of Resort. He's up in the rooftops, making his way to the presidential suite, which is the final section. Oh, dashing a little too early there. Might have been a missed input, I'm not 100% sure, because he was dashing up forward. And we're seeing an excellent execution of the wall bounces there. As Starcruncher gets set up here for our key skip that I mentioned earlier. So let's see if we can nail it here. Does so elegantly. That was fantastic. So that room, you have those small pressure platforms that will, you know, they drop down as Madeline steps on them. Really have to focus on your dash jump to get through that section cleanly. And grabbing the key and then hitting retry to bounce yourself all the way back to the beginning to save some time. Alright, so Starcruncher now moving into the Oshiro fight as Zeion97 is making his way through Huge Mess. So for Oshiro, He basically is going to zoom up and down on the left side of the screen, pinpointing where Madeline is at. Oh, taking a death there. And then a lightning bolt will crash across after some time, and he will make a mad dash, trying to take Madeline out. Nice recovery from Starcruncher there. Ran to a little bit of a mishap. And Zeion97 is moving through the first portion of Huge Mess. Oh, caught the spring and didn't make it across that gap there. So Starcruncher is moving along as Zeion97 is hitting the switch in the crate section. And now on the last screen of Chapter 3, this one is very long. And with Oshiro and all the dust bunnies and everything else that's in the way, a death towards the later half is very detrimental to one's time because you will start right back at the beginning. Starcruncher makes no problem with that, finishing at a 10:01 overall on his in-game timer. It looks like a 5:53 if I'm not mistaken for Chapter 3. Very nice. And now Zeion97 moving through the second portion here. Alright, so Starcruncher now is moving into Golden Ridge. We got some new mechanics, as you saw those clouds, which are nice trampolines. The blue ones will stay indefinitely, but the pink ones will disappear after Madeline jumps off of them. Then, of course, we have the infamous wind that will be pushing on Madeline and preventing her from moving forward. Dashes will bypass that. And then, finally, we have these green bubbles. They will boost Madeline into any direction the player presses on the controller. And then you're also able to actually dash out of them as well, as you'll see here. Nicely done from Starcruncher. He's moving along very nicely as Zeion97 now getting through the last section of Huge Mess. And we're going to see another spike jump off Starcruncher. Let's see if he gets it. First try. Excellent. And then some nice wall bounces here too. So one thing about Golden Ridge is that you can save a lot of time. Every room basically has some sort of way to trim some like a very small skips, and it really adds up when you get to the end. And then there's these auto scrollers, which are there's huge skips there, as you see Starcruncher nailing that. But it's very risky because if you do die at the end of that screen, you're forced to go all the way back, and a lot of time can be lost if a death occurs there. Alright, and Zeion97 now moving to the end of Huge Mess, going to the elevator shaft as Starcruncher takes a death. Moving into one of the longer rooms here. With a reverse dash there, you're able to bypass some of the stuff and not rely on the green bubbles down there. He's moving along very nicely. So you get next to the second auto-scroller skip here towards the end. You're going to hit this switch to move this block over. Doing a little hop, skip, and jumping up there. We're going to dash jump off this and get our way up. It does it nicely. And now Zeion97 moving into the key skip. We'll see if he can get this as well. Opting for a safer route. And he gets it first try. Nicely done. Starcruncher moving to the final section of Golden Ridge where the wind is completely out of control. Oh! Just holding down and taking a death there on the spikes. The wind is so strong that by just walking, it's very hard for Madeline to move forward. So you have to rely on the dash to get through a lot of these sections. And now we have these snowballs that come in. Similar to Oshiro, they're going to fly from the right to the left instead of the left or the right like Oshiro does. There is no visual tell as to when they appear, although it does seem to appear that they're on some kind of like rhythm, like a set, not a set time, but you know, you can kind of tell. And there's an audio effect when they start coming by, but Starcruncher nails it, missing that green bubble to continue his trek through Golden Ridge, as Zeion now moving through the Oshiro fight. Zeion making great work. Oh, running into Oshiro there, not getting out of that little room in time. Starcruncher on the final screen. He clears it and makes his way towards the gondola. He's at a 13:27 right now. Zeion making his way through. He's got a few screens to go before he wraps up Chapter 3. As Starcrunsher gets ready to move into the Mirror Temple. So the Mirror Temple introduces a few fun gimmicks for Madeline to mess around with. We have these dash blocks that are going to come up, where every time that Madeline activates her dash, they're going to move very quickly, as you see there. And momentum can be carried off of that, and we'll see that in this chapter in a few places. And there's also these beautiful red bubbles that shoot Madeline in a direction indefinitely until they collide. Oh, trying to get on that reverse hyper to get through this narrow platform. He nails it second try. But the red bubbles they collide into something, or if Madeline dashes out of them, that's how you break them. He's making his first key here. As Zeion97 getting through the final screen of Chapter 3 and moving along into Chapter 4. He's at 1455 right now. You can see Starcruncher is going to go for a skip here. He's going to use this to propel himself, and oh my gosh, that was fantastic. Gets it first try. You can actually corner boost off of that at the end of that screen, and if you are able to do that, you can bypass that next the screen afterwards entirely, saving about 3 seconds. Now he's moving through this long corridor with these red bubbles, and we're gonna taking a death on the spikes. A death in this room is very detrimental because you lose a lot of time, as you'll see these spike blades that are in the temple. Wow, he's just blasting through there. Oh my goodness. He's gonna move into the mirror of the Mirror Temple. We're gonna check in on Zeion97. He's making his way through Golden Ridge, getting through this section with the green bubbles. Nicely done. Alright, Starcruncher now going into the Seeker. This is basically, I like to call it a tutorial to let the player know what these things do. They dash and they kill Madeline. So, when activated, as you'll see in a few screens here, they're going to beeline towards Madeline's position. There is an audio tell before they... There is an audio tell before they actually do that. Starcruncher running into a little bit of trouble here, pausing too early and hitting retry, forcing him to start over on that screen, but not too much time loss. Alright, so he's going to make his way through the Seekers here. So, as you see, they kind of pop out and they're purple, but when they're pink, that's when they're going to come in and try to attack. As you see right there. Now, these things will also activate these lock switches, so runners will utilize that. Okay, nice. Ooh. Hitting him with those S-curves. I like that. Oh, wow. He zoomed through that room. Making great work. With Zeion97 now opting to not use the auto-scroller blocks and skipping that screen. Getting to the first auto-scroller. Oh, okay, he's in it. Oh. Dashed on accident there. Starcruncher on the final room with the Seekers and the door locks here. Oh, he's trying to stop him in his place, but nice improvisation from him. As Starcruncher gets ready for the search portion, and also showcasing the search skip, where basically that's the flagship skip of the game. You save about 2 to 3 minutes, and it's very crucial if you want to learn how to run it. He nails it as if it was nothing. So it was so fast I didn't even get a chance to set it up before he pulled it off. Basically, what you'll be doing is a reverse dash jump, and then at the last moment, you're going to do another diagonal dash to clear that room. So he does it very nicely as he gets ready to get into the Theo section, which I will describe momentarily. But we're going to jump back to Zeion97 as he's moving through this more auto-scroller blocks here. Nicely done in making his ascent to the second auto-scroller. And now Starcruncher moving into the Theo section where we got a Hall Theo. He ended up getting caught in a crystal. And it's our goal to get him to safety. And by doing that, by traversing, but you know, our friends the Seekers are back and they're not pleased that you're trying to leave the temple. So normally it impedes Madeline's movement while you are holding Theo. But if you throw him and then dash jump or hyper dash immediately afterwards, you can catch him while he's in the air. And by doing so, you're able to maintain your momentum. having a little trouble in that room where you have to use the dash block. We're gonna see if we can get this nice skip here. Oh, almost. You can use that dash block to get some momentum to fly through that room. But Starcrunsher making great work here in getting through this area. Oh, nice save! Oh, yeah, okay. Set himself up. Ooh, oh my gosh, that was super nice recovery. That's all I can really say. Took my words away from me from that one. We got Zeion97 moving through the final portion of Golden Ridge, as Starcrunsher now moving through the final portion of Mirror Temple. So basically, we got these doors coming in, this giant eyeball, and sound waves that are trying to push you back. He makes good work of that, coming in at 1852 at the end of Chapter 5 with 2 chapters to go. Zeion97 going through the heavy wind section of Chapter 4 here, making great work here, avoiding these snowballs. As Starcrunsher begins Chapter 6, which is the Reflection chapter. Our new gimmicks in this one is these lovely feathers that you'll be able to freely direct in any direction. Pad players or controller players prefer to use their analog sticks to do that and to navigate through there. There's also going to be a Crush block guy here, or the Kevin blocks. They have blue borders around them, and with that you can dash into them, and they will fly indefinitely in that direction until they come in contact with another solid object. So we see Starcrunsher using those. And then we have these bumpers that I will explain a little later when we get to them. But let's get back to Zeion97 as he's going through the final screen of Golden Ridge. Oh, dashing into the spikes is unfortunate. Let's give it another try. Let's get that run back. And making his way. Clears it. One more dash. Alright, he's in. Chapter 4 is in the books for Zeion97. And now Starcrunsher moving through. We're going to see a nice little momentum. Nice movement there to that feather. And then actually a wall bounce off of this. Let's see if he's going to get it. So use that wall bounce to clear that entire gap. And just quickly make your way through. So a lot of screens in here involve dashing into the next room. Now when you do that, you get your dash back. So it's possible to keep a lot of momentum as we enter this another maze portion, which is in Chapter 6. You have 2 routes to go. You can either go the top route or the bottom route in some of these rooms. Most runners prefer the top, or except for one room where we go to the bottom. But then again, some people actually just take the top route the entire time. Starcrunsher moving through very nicely as Zeion97 is getting through the Mirror Temple, grabbing his red bubble to shoot across and grab that key to the first lock. Alright, so we got our bumper friends here. Basically, they ricochet Madeline around like a pinball. You have the option of holding a direction as you come in contact with them. If you hold the opposite direction, you actually will fly a lot further, as showcased by Starcrunsher there. You can utilize that to skip one of the bumpers in that room in particular. As he makes his way through, getting ready to talk to the old lady and begin to find Madeline. And Zeion97 making his way through, getting ready to run into that mirror with the Seekers. Excellent work there. And Starcrunsher on his way to run into Madeline. He's in the room where the developers designed some shortcuts to skip through these sections. It's very risky because you actually can die when you come in contact with those spikes, and by doing so, it takes you all the way back to the beginning. He clears it as if it was no problem. Oh, well, as I say that, he runs into a spike there, but that's okay. He's going to get ready to go into our giant Kevin block, and hopefully we'll be seeing a battle line boost here as Zeion97 is getting ready to enter the mirror. So the battle line boost, we're going to use this Kevin block, a hyper dash, and a bunny hop to get a ridiculous amount of momentum, as you see here. Playing it safe and not going too far ahead. And the battle line fight is underway. Let me see some heyas in the chat, folks. So for battle and fight, she's trying to take you out with a laser and some orbs that will kind of move their way across the screen. Madeline's objective is basically to get to her and to just get in her face. And Madeline is like, I'm not trying to deal with that, you need to get away from me. But that's how you progress to each of these rooms. You also have spikes as well as crumbling platforms and a few blocks that are coming down. But Starcruncher making excellent work for this, oh my goodness. Moving back over to Zeion97, he is working his way through the Seeker section of Chapter 5. So I guess, oh, Starcruncher, I think, trying to get an Ultra off of that? We'll see. Oh, opting to take the feather there. There are two ways to approach this room. You can either Ultra down and jump across those platforms, or take the feather. So Starcruncher picking up speed again. He's making his way through to get to the second portion of the battle and fight. Zeion now going heads up against these Seekers, using them to grab those lock switches. Making excellent work here. He's on his last room with them. Let's see if he can handle this. The Seeker actually opening up one of the walls here. Nice bonk on one of them. He should be able to get away scot-free. And he does so. Nicely done. Starcruncher now moving through. He's got a few more screens? Nope, he's about to run into the second portion of the battle and fight. It's pretty much the same as it was before. The only difference is now Madeline is actually going to control some of these blocks to do her best to stop Madeline from wanting to climb this mountain. So we'll see how he goes. He's got a few screens before the end of Chapter 6 as Zeion97 is making his way over to Search Skip. And he gets it first try. Nicely done. Oh, Starcruncher's taking a death from that orb. He's going to try this one again. That was at the end of the screen, so he loses a little bit of time. He's making his way through. Alright, and now Zeion97 working his way to Theo. As Starcruncher is on the second to last screen. The last two screens of the battle and fight are very long, and there's a lot of obstacles that you have to deal with. So, and he makes nice work of that. One more screen to go. This one probably longer than the other one. And you had to deal with the feathers to get your way through, but Madeline is like honing in on her with those lasers. Starcruncher making it through. Excellent. Nicely done as he moves towards the level up, which he gets. So I will go into that real quick. I'm going to jump back over to Zeion as he starts working his way through the Theo section here. Making excellent work trying to get through. I'm not sure if Zeion97 is on PB pace or not. He got very close in his previous race, so we'll see. It looks like he's doing it's a lot more smoother this time around in this section. Oh, forcing a retry there. But I think he's definitely on a faster pace than his first race from earlier today. Alright, so now Starcruncher is in Summit, and as I mentioned, he leveled up and got another dash. So you see that Madeline's hair is now pink, which allows her to get an extra dash off of that. And Summit is all around that extra dash. There's wider gaps, more places for you to try to like combine both of them, as you will see. Oh no, missing that spring there, taking a death. And also, each of the gimmicks from the previous chapters are going to come back, redesigned to set up Madeline with her two dashes here, as we'll see. Alright, so we're going to go swoop back over to Zeion. He's making his way through the Seekers here. As Starcruncher making his way through this section where Madeline is alley-ooping Madeline through each part. It's like almost a checkpoint, but not really, because if you die, you have to do it all over again. But, oh, Zeion taking a death there. Starcruncher handles it very nicely as he moves into the 500 section, which is the city section from Chapter 1. So we got our zippers back. As they rocket him through. Wow, Starcruncher is moving and grooving right now. Zeion97 is working his way through. He's got a few screens to go before the end of Chapter 5. accidentally threw 3-0 away and deciding to retry instead of trying to salvage that. It's okay. He makes it through. Just a few screens to go before he takes on his reflection. And with that being said, Starcruncher now moving into the 2000, or not, I'm sorry, 1000. I'm getting ahead of myself. The 1000 section here. So we got our dream blocks back. And I like to actually bring up something that I didn't bring up some tech from when it was brought up in Chapter 2. But it's possible to jump out of the dream blocks, as well as hyper out of them. We're going to see if he's going to go for it. He might do it, he might not, but it definitely speeds things along nicely. There's a huge risk. You can mess it up in a dash in the wrong direction, or even just like downwards. But he's making excellent work of this 1,000 meter portion of Summit. And Zeion97 now finishing Chapter 5, getting ready to go on to Reflection. Alright, Starcruncher getting through very nicely. About 28-22 as he heads into 1500. Arguably one of the more difficult areas in Summit. We got our friends, the Dust Bunnies, back again. Oh wow, he's... Okay, I see you. There are a few rooms, this one and then one more, where it's very long and a death near the end can lose a lot of time. But Starcruncher's handling this very well. Oh, he's zooming and grooving. And Zeion97 is now moving into the reflection portion. Oh, nice. He gets to that extra clean. Excellent work. So there's actually a split path here. You can go down here where there's a strawberry, or you can go straight across. It's really runner's preference, whatever they're more comfortable with. And Starcruncher getting to the final room of 1500 with Battlein and a few more Dust Bunnies. And Zeion97 hits his crush block to get further along in Chapter 6. I know Starcruncher moving into the 2000 portion of Summit. We've got our Golden Ridge stuff. Lots of wind. Lots of wind. And snowballs have returned as well. Oh, speaking of which, snowballs have come back, and they've come back with a vengeance. But we also have some oh no, missed the top of that platform there and had to take a death. We have some auto scroller skips, which I'm sure we'll see from Starcruncher. Well, getting a little struggle here in the snowball room. You have that strawberry down there, where you basically need to have both dashes to make it across, and it looks like he's getting ahead of himself and only getting one dash, but he gets it there. Nice work. So he's moving into that, and now Zeion97 making his way towards the old lady in Reflection. He's gonna go for the skip, and Starcruncher gets it. As he moves on to the second one, auto scroller section. There is another skip that you can do here where you can wall bounce off the right. We're going to see if he's going to go for it. Opts to not go for it. That's quite alright, using the guaranteed safe route. Because there are some spikes at the top, and by wall bouncing, if you don't get out far enough, you could bonk those, and taking a death at the very end of the screen, especially that one, a lot of time is lost. Alright, so Starcruncher is now moving into the final section of 2000. Let's check back in with Zeion97. He's opting to take that top route here in Chapter 6. Oh, Starcruncher taking a death there. Have to get back into it. Alright, Zeion97 making his way to the Old Lady of the Mountain. And then he's going to start working his way to meet up with Battlein. And Starcruncher now moving into 2500. This is the Mirror Temple remake, so to speak, for Summit. We're going to see a few skips here and a lot of great movement utilizing both of those dashes. For example, right there. And this next screen too, see here. Oh, beautifully done. And then we have a return of a key skip. We're going to see if he's going to go for it. Gets it first try. Nice job. Just zooming it through. And then we got a few more got ahead of himself there. Alright, nice. Now, switching back over to Zeion97. He's making his way through that pitfall area. Taking one skip and avoiding the other. And okay. Skipped the second one and took the third one. I respect the move because it does trigger that checkpoint. And Starcruncher going the intended route on the infamous door skip. As he makes his way through this last room here. Man, great time. Looks like he might be able to get through this in under 33. Yeah, it looks so. It looks like he's going to be very close to around 33 mark as he heads into the final leg of Summit. And now Zeion97 also getting his battle line fight underway. So Summit is the home stretch for Chapter 7. We're going to have our wind make its final return, but we're going to have some downdrafts and some updrafts. So it's going to limit or enhance Madeline's ability to jump. The first section is the downdraft one, so her jump is severely cut short, but again, dashes negate the wind's effect, so there's going to be a lot of dashing around, especially upwards, as she starts to make her ascent. And also in the chat, you guys know the drill. As we get to these checkpoint flags, feel free to type it up in chat as we count down to the summit. Making great work through these springs here. Now, I believe each portion of the summit is 10 flags long, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. Starcruncher is now making his way through the downdraft, nice and cleanly moving to the updraft, as Zeion97 is battling his way through the battle end part, clearing that nice room there. Oh, but taking a death, unfortunately, with those orbs. Starcruncher moving into, I think that's flag 14? This one is very grueling, but he nails it. As he takes on 13. Now this is the last instance of our lock switches. 1, 2, and 3. Nicely done. Gonna get through this narrow corridor. Oh. Hitting that checkpoint before taking that death, though. Both runners flying through their sections respectively. We've got Zeion97 moving into probably halfway through the first part of the battle and fight. As Starcruncher now is moving on to the 10th flag. Missed the cliff there to grab onto, but makes a nice recovery. Oh, almost had a controller error there, but he nails it nicely. He's just flying through, hitting checkpoint 7 on the home stretch. And now Zeion97 is moving through the vertical section before we encounter the part 2 of the battle line fight. And he does that very well. Alright, Starcruncher in the home stretch here. He's on flag 4, about to make his way to flag 3. We got our feathers coming back. It's very quickly, there's a lot of narrow passageways and some tight jumps that you have to do. But Starcruncher is making great work of it as he moves into flag 2 and the home stretch here. Zeion97 starting the second port of the battle and fight. Getting through this long room here. And he does it nicely, avoiding those orbs. And Starcruncher now moving along on flag 1, getting very close to the summit. Just a few more dashes and he's there. And he gets it, folks. Coming in at 3611.59. Nicely done. And now Zeion97 getting to the second to last screen of battle in here. Alright, I'll see if I can get Starcruncher in here for an interview or not. We'll see. But let's focus on Zeion97 making his way. Ooh, nearly dodges that. Oh. Alright, Zeion making his way through and getting ready. So from the looks of things, Starcrunsher might have PB'd. I think he went back to the title screen. I'm not 100% sure. But Zeion97 finishing Chapter 6 at 38.09. He is, if I'm not mistaken, he is in great striking distance to PB right now. We'll see. Actually, I'll do I have a check on, at least for Zion's 97's PB. Let me pull that up real quick. Alright. Zeion's PB is 50.12, so it's going to be very close. We'll have to see. He was very close last time, so we'll see if he can get that run back here. Alright, so we're going to move onto Zeion97's Summit Performance here. Getting to that first section and jumping into... Alright, I am back, folks. Sorry about that. So Zeion97 moving through his 500 section again. Oh, missing that jump there. I'll see if we can get Starcrunsher in here for an interview or not. We'll see. I see that he's in the chat, though. It turns out that it was not a PB. Just off by a minute, but still, excellent run from him. Now Zeion97 making his way through on the second to last screen of 500. Heading into this battling portion here. Alright, now Zeion97 moves 1,000 here. But the Dream Blocks yet again. Alright, folks. I have Starcruncher in here with me. How's it going, sir?
It's going fine.
Congrats on your victory. I saw in the chat that it wasn't a PV, but still excellent run from you. How do you feel about the run overall?
At the beginning, I had some strange small mistakes, and overall, it was a good run, except that one room in 2000M.
Oh yeah, the snowball room. Yeah, that room is really tough though. I mean, especially I think you got near the end, but you were not getting both dashes back to clear that gap. But still,
Correct.
Nice recovery on that. And after that room, everything was just smooth sailing. So great work on getting back to pulling your bearings together and knocking that out. So do you have any other races coming up tomorrow?
Yeah, I have one at, let me check when it was.
Oh, no worries.
At 5 p.m. EST. That's my next race and my last for the group phase.
Oh, so you're moving along nicely. Okay, awesome. So actually, I saw that your record was at the beginning, but what is your record right now?
35-12.
Okay, and for the tournament, are you 4-2 right now? Is that correct?
5-1.
5-1. Okay.
With this one.
All right, awesome. So I think it looks like you were going to move into the bracket. How are you feeling about that? Are you feeling pretty confident as you get ready to go into the second part of the tournament?
I think so. Probably at the next races I will be still nervous too at the beginning, but we will see.
Oh yeah, nerves definitely come into play, especially for the first part. It seems to be a trend with a lot of the runners. We'll see some mistakes or some like mismovement in chapters 1 and 2, but then pretty much after that, everybody seems to get their bearings together and start barreling through the rest of the game.
I noticed that too. Yes.
So is there anybody that you want to race in the bracket? Like, are you looking to see a particular matchup between you and somebody?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay.
Didn't check that much how the other groups went.
Okay, and then actually within your group, has there been any like upsets? Has there been like a 6th seed or a 5th seed coming out of nowhere and defeating somebody that was higher than them?
If I would know what the seeds are at the beginning, I could say something to that, but I don't know.
Okay, no worries, it's fine. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get back to Zeion97's Summit run here. Is there anything else you'd like to say in closing, or any shout-outs or anything?
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you as well. Thank you for putting on a fantastic race. And we'll get back to Zeion97 here.
I'm out then. See ya.
Yep. Good luck to you. See you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we are back on Zeion97 here, making his way through the 2000 mark. I will apologize. We do not have the game audio at this moment, as Zeion97's mic is on. So we're just gonna kind of wing it here. I'll see if I can get the background music to come on if it's not already, but we'll see. Now Zeion97 making his way through the 2500 section. Oh, dashing into those spikes there. That jump is actually it can be pretty difficult, because if you jump too early, obviously you're going to run into those spikes, and you can't utilize your dash, because the dash block will shove Madeline back to the beginning of that part. But he gets through that, and he's making his way through the second portion here. See if he's going to go for the key skip. Nope, he's going down to get the bubble again. And he gets said he's going to grab his key and then make his way through. We do have door skip coming up. If my memory serves me correctly, he did get that in his run from earlier today. So we'll see if he's going to go for it again. Oh no, dashing too early there and getting caught by the dash block. So he makes his way through this red bubble section here. And now we've got this tricky room, which involves dashing to bring the blocks to you and then grabbing on the sides where there aren't any spikes. Is he going to go for it? He is going for it, folks. Let's see. It's the first one down. Oh, nice. Super clean. Excellent work there. So he gets into the final room of 2500. This one actually is pretty long, and we have a mix of our dash blocks as well as springboards and then battle into. He's making great work here. One more section here. Nice. Getting into the clear. All right, he's on to 3000. So again, chat, bring those countdowns up. Let's get him going, and haven't finished this one strong. Oh, wow, he's being very aggressive right now and going through this first portion there. I've seen Madeline blinking a little bit, running low on stamina, but he makes it through unscathed. And now we are in the downdraft section. Moving along very nicely. Getting a couple of these dash crystals here. Yeah, wow, this is very clean so far. I say so far and I shouldn't, but I'm not trying to commentate curse. So, but he's making good work here as he gets to 23. Now 22. So we get to the springboards. Oh, nice. Making it through very elegantly, if I say so myself. And he's almost in the clear here. Got to 20. Small death there, but that's okay. It was right at the beginning, so not too detrimental. And now he's going through this vertical section to meet up with Madeline, and then he'll be moving on to the upward draft portion of Summit. Yeah, I'm definitely noticing this time around that Zeion97 is being a little more aggressive, and it is paying off. I mean, there was a death there, but overall, it was definitely a lot more aggressive than his run from earlier today, and it looks like it's paying off. Just running into a few hiccups here and there, bashing into these spikes, but it's fine. So he makes his way through. He's going to go for this, and gets it and moves into the next checkpoint. Making great work of this. We're going to move on to 14 here. It's got a couple springboards, and there's going to be a few wall kicks or wall jumps to make our way to 13. And then this is the last instance of our lock switches. This room is it's not really long, so to speak. It's just a couple sections wide, but the fact that you have to navigate Madeline basically free falling this entire time with only a springboard to reset your dash to hit those lock switches. Zeion97 makes it look effortless as he gets through. And now we're going to get to 11 with this corridor where we get our dash crystals to reset. Oh, wow. Yeah, he's just blaring through this. Hitting up checkpoint 10. We're going to see if he's going to hit 8 or not. I believe he went and got to checkpoint 8 in his race from earlier today. Small section is very stressful as you have to reset your dash with the dash crystal and then dash across. Oh, he skips 8 this time, and oh, nice. Moving into 7 in the home stretch here for the upward draft portion of Summit. It's a couple wall climbs, and there he is moving into flag number 6, where we start seeing our feathers again. And there's still updrafts here, but they'll be over soon enough as we get into the home stretch at flag 5. So there's no draft here. There's a couple tricky dashes that you have to take care of. And then our feathers have returned for the finale of Summit. All right, he's on flag 3. Let's see if he can get through this unscathed. Does so. One little corridor to get into flag 2, and he gets it. All right, home stretch time. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so let's see. He's going to get real close here. On to 1 in that home stretch here. If anything, he looks like he's gonna get a sub or under 53 minutes. Just a couple more dashes here and he'll be ready to go. Ooh, got a little too close to comfort with those spikes. All right, he has done it at a time of 52:35. Excellent job, Zeion97. All right, I'll see if we can maybe get him in for an interview. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll find out. And then also, I think that this wraps up Celeste for today, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check here. Yeah, from the looks of things, this is the final match for Celeste tonight. But we have a whole bunch of races going on tomorrow. So if you want to get your fix in, be sure to tune in tomorrow on all of Speed Gaming's channels. Be sure to give them a follow. Also, give the runners a follow. I'll pop that up in the chat here. And then also, if you enjoyed my commentary, I will throw my channel in there as well. All right, sweet. Well, I believe that we are going to wrap this one up. Again, congratulations to Starcrunsher for his victory, and to both runners for putting on a fantastic race for everybody. A huge shout to everybody at Speed Gaming for allowing us to stream our race on their channel. Be sure to give everybody a follow and all that great stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. So I will see you guys tomorrow for more Any Percent tournament action here with Celeste. You guys take care.